Ladies and gentlemen, what do we have here? Jadon Sancho news popping up over the last 24 hours. Talks that he could potentially return back to Man United. Absolute twist of fate, Hardy boys, if you guys remember. Bit of a twist of fate happening. What's happening over here? Let's check it out. Before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. What's happening? What's happening? Let's have a quick look at the news that's coming from Chris Wheeler. Breaking, there is still a possibility that Jadon Sancho could end up back at Manchester United this summer if Chelsea decide not to go through with the deal. It would cost Chelsea a significant penalty to pull out of the deal. This is crazy news. I had no idea that there was some sort of a clause, but this is the thing, this is why sometimes when we see loan deals, obligation to buy this, that, the other, we shouldn't take it at face value. There's always all of these underlining, situations that could pop up. I had no idea that this is the case. We're going to delve deep, obviously, and I'm going to provide my opinion on it, whether this is going to happen or not, whether we should do it or not. We're going to talk about all of that. I just want to quickly go through some of the news in regards to this. Players often agree terms with their new club before joining on loan with a view to a permanent move. Sancho has yet to do so with Chelsea. If the situation remains unresolved, Chelsea will have to sign him and sell him on or send him back to United and incur a financial penalty. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of things over here. One, seems like in the contract or in this loan contract or this obligation to buy contract, there is a clause that allows Chelsea to send Sancho back to Man United if we want to. And the second situation is that Sancho hasn't actually even, finalized personal terms with us after the loan. So, yeah, right now, Man United's paying half the wages. We're going to look at that news very, very soon. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe talks about that. Um, so this season, it's sorted. He's on loan. Man United paying predominantly, I think, more than half of his wages, and we're paying the remaining part. But what happens after this season? Chelsea Football Club and Jadon Sancho, they've not struck a deal. So quite interesting. Now, do I see Jadon Sancho perhaps, going back to Man United? No, I don't think so. I mean, this wouldn't make sense for anyone. It wouldn't make sense for Man United. Can you imagine after the season Man United's had, and just imagine the fact that we actually pay the penalty. We have to pay a hefty penalty for him to go back for Jadon Sancho. Imagine the season Man United have had. They're looking to get rid of players like Jadon Sancho. Instead, we pay a hefty fee to send Jadon Sancho back. I mean, that's a bad news for Man United, and that's even worse news for Jadon Sancho as well. So, um, I just can't see how Chelsea does that, incurs a penalty. The obligation to buy is 25 million, I believe, somewhere around that mark. I'd say Chelsea would rather pay the 25 million, get this player on a bargain, and then, if need be, we'll go and sell the player on. Now, the question is, if you buy the player, you're going to have to accept the personal terms agreement. What kind of wages is he on at Man United? He's on good wages at Man United. He will not be on the same wages here at Chelsea Football Club. So he'll have to agree to all of that. And if he doesn't agree to that, well, I think Chelsea will still end up buying Jadon Sancho for 25 million as opposed to paying a penalty because there's an opportunity. Jadon Sancho is a young player and someone who Chelsea can still make a little bit of profit out of at 25 million. Even if you could sell Jadon Sancho for maybe 35, 40 million at least. So you're going to make some form of money back. So I don't expect Chelsea to trigger this and send Jadon Sancho back to Man United. I expect Chelsea to keep them. And then, as I said, if need be, then maybe we sell him on. Now, what do I think should happen? So that's what I feel is going to happen. What do I think about the whole situation in terms of what should happen in this case? Um, Look, Jadon Sancho, ladies and gentlemen, he hasn't been good enough. He's shown glimpses of good form. He's shown glimpses of talent, of course, no doubts about that. But the thing that I really get annoyed about Jadon Sancho is he needs to shoot more. He dilly dallies with the ball too long. He's not decisive enough. He gets into good positions and then he's not cutthroat. And that's, you look at some of the qualities that we're seeing in the Champions League. If we aspire to be in the Champions League, you see the quality of some of these players. Look at Yamal. And I know some of these players we shouldn't even bother comparing with Jadon Sancho. But what I'm trying to say is the quality in this Champions League, we should aspire to be at that level. And Jadon Sancho right now, forget about Champions League. He's not even cutthroat against some of the lower sides in the Premier League. So, look, that's a problem. And, you know, can he be robust? Can he work off the ball as well as some of these wingers that we're seeing in the Champions League? Because you need to. You need to have both sides of your game. You need to have the game on the ball. You need to have the game off the ball. Look at Rafinha. Look at Rafinha. He's on track to perhaps get the Ballon d'Or. He's scoring goals after goals after goals. God knows how many goals he's already scored in La Liga. He's one of the top scorers, I'm pretty sure, in the Champions League as well. Jadon Sancho, that's probably my biggest worry. Doesn't score enough, doesn't shoot often enough, isn't decisive enough in the final third. Yeah, he looks silky. Yeah, he looks like, technically he's quite gifted. He can find those, nice passes. But the bottom line is, he needs to do more. He needs to do more. So me personally, would I part ways with him? Look, he's a good enough player to be a squad sort of rotational player, no problems, but I'm sure he's not going to accept that. So, in that regards, I wouldn't mind parting ways with him. I really wouldn't. I've said it all along. Even when we got Jadon Sancho, I said that he was unnecessary. We didn't need a player like Jadon Sancho. We had enough to basically do the job for this season. And I wanted a different type of a player. I wanted a different type of a player. I really wanted Olise, and that didn't happen. And at that time, obviously, we still had Mudryk and one. Obviously, now it makes sense. Now we don't have Mudryk. But then again, Jadon Sancho for me is not cut to a throat. So me personally, I probably would part ways with him if I could and then try and really upgrade. If not, I wouldn't mind having him as a squad rotational player, which I don't think he's going to appreciate. So that's me. But from Chelsea's point of view, I don't think Chelsea are going to send him off to Man United. For them, for Chelsea, it makes sense to keep this player, pay the obligation, find personal terms agreement. And if it's outside of that, then I'm sure Chelsea will look to sell him on. Now, some other bits and pieces in regards to this particular news. This is what Sir Jim Ratcliffe had to say about Sancho. For Sancho, who now plays for Chelsea and we pay half his wages, we are paying 17 million to buy him in the summer. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe has confirmed the fact that Man United pay half the wages, and we pay the remaining half. I'm pretty certain if we are to keep Jadon Sancho, you are not getting those wages that you've been getting at Man United. And so Jim Ratcliffe saying that they still need to pay 17 million to Dortmund to buy him fully this summer. He further goes on to say, we're going to pay 89 million this summer for players we haven't signed. Even if we don't sign anyone this summer, we'll have to write a check for 89 million. So one thing that we need to understand, when clubs buy players, very rarely do they just pay all the money up front. This is why you'll see, especially in recent times with Chelsea Football Club, we look for better payment terms, paying 3 years, 3 installments or 4 installments, whatever the case is, because to pay all of that sum in one hit, your cash flow is going to take a major hit as well. Jadon Sancho, this is what he has to say recently. I'm really delighted that I'm here playing football here at Chelsea. Maresca makes us feel at home. It's not easy for players to say that. We've grown into one big family. The lads are very good and every day is a fun day. Look, he probably wouldn't mind staying at Chelsea Football Club. He's got his friends here. He's got Cole Palmer, Madueke, this, that, the other. Um, I can picture him definitely staying at Chelsea Football Club. But yeah, the levels are very high now, man. If we Chelsea Football Club aspire to be a top club down the track, we need players like Jadon Sancho. You got to score goals, brother. You got to score goals, lots of goals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about the whole Jadon Sancho twist in his transfer transfer situation with Chelsea, for a twist in his loan contract with Chelsea. Let me know your thoughts. Do you pay the penalty and get rid of him, or do you keep him, make him part of Chelsea Football Club, or do you also keep him, pay the obligation fee, and just maybe sell him on and see if we can make some profit out of it? Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Chelsea are believed to be looking at a number of wingers this summer, including exciting 19-year-old and yet another 19-year-old Real Betis talent, Jesus Rodriguez, whatever it may be. Look, I have no idea. I don't watch Real Betis in that manner, but another 19-year-old, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any idea, let me know. But I'm just fed up. I mean, we need experienced players, man. We can't just infiltrate the entire squad with kids, and that seems to be the case at Chelsea Football Club. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially the Jadon Sancho scenario. How do you feel about the fact that Chelsea have an option to send him back, albeit with a penalty, a hefty penalty? Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya. Bye.